Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Eliana with Not Redesign. Thanks for being here. This is the face of someone who has been sick for 10 days. I'm still not 100%, but I'm getting better every single day. It wasn't the bug, we know which one. It wasn't the flu and it wasn't RSV, but whatever it is, it got me and it got me good. This week though, I am super excited to bring you guys the Ugly Duckling Challenge, which is hosted by Desert DIY, and in this month of December we are all in the spirit of giving. I have completed this dresser for a friend of mine who recently got divorced, and she is giving this to her son for Christmas. It will be his Christmas present. They're getting a fresh start, and what better than to be able to give to someone who is in need and who you love a lot. So come check it out. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks again for being here this week, and let's get right into it. I have had this guy for probably a little over a year. It was beat up. A lot of the drawers were literally in shambles. They had splits and they had corners that were missing, and it looks like a very sturdy dresser, but it needed all of the drawer slides to be fixed. They were loose, unglued, and it was just in very poor condition. It was very, very dirty. I think it's a perfect candidate for the Ugly Duckling Challenge, and especially because I need a piece that is going to be a good piece at the end of the day for the person that I have this in mind. When I tell you this piece was dirty, y'all trust me, it was dirty. Look how gross this is. This is why I insist on being very thorough with cleaning every single piece that you are going to refinish. Look at all of that gross gunk literally coming off. That was accumulated over God knows how many years on this dresser. So for now, I'm gonna clean. I'm going to sand the bottom of it so I can leave it bare, and I'm going to clean all the entire inside of this soon to be very nice dresser. We'll see how it looks. As I mentioned, this dresser had several things that needed to be fixed, including the bottom of each side and then the back side of each of the sides as well. They needed a lot of putty because a lot of the veneer was missing. I wanted to make the bottom of this dressers really stand out because I thought it was so pretty, so I decided to make it bare, and I sanded off the entire bottom of it. The finish was a little bit stubborn, but with 120 grit paper, I was able to remove all of that finish, and then I finished it off with a 220 grit to make sure that there were no little swirls left on the wood at the end of the refinishing. As we all know, the sanders are not all going to get into those very intricate or very small tight places, so sometimes you gotta just pull out all of those hand tools, and in this case I am using a 1-inch sander block, and I am also using a 2-inch sanding block with just regular paper that you add to it and manually do the sanding wherever is needed. Those tools are super cool to have and a must for everyone who is refinishing furniture. As you all saw at the beginning of the video, some of the drawers I had already begun to basically refinish them and reconstruct. The corners were gone in a lot of the drawers, and they also had tons of splits in between. These maple dressers are the maple is not a very hard wood, and it's very common to, when you get them to refinish them, the drawers have splits. Sometimes the tops have splits or the sides. In this case, it was all of the drawers. They literally were just missing chunks and chunks of wood in the corners, and I already had some of this sort of worked up, but as you can see, they are coming off and not doing very well, so I'm gonna have to go a different route. Let me show you. So here, the wood putty did not work. This piece right here has to be fixed with Bondo. So I'm going to put this back here to back it, fill it up with Bondo, and then reshape it. Look at all of that putty that did not stick very well. Oh well. So we live and learn, and we try again. I'm going to use this popsicle sticks to basically create a straight edge, and I'm going to add some of the clamps to secure them, and then I'm going to work some of the Bondo, which will be something that dries much harder than just wood putty, to create that corner. Let's see how I do this time. I've got to put it in that entire corner. I have to tell you that you need to be patient with this process. There will be times when one application of Bondo will not be enough. You'll have to come back 2, maybe even 3 or 4 times to make sure that that corner is done right. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I will tell you that this took me 3 applications and 2 applications of additional little bit of wood putty in certain places to make sure that I had the edge just right. So have patience with yourself. Make sure that you allow this to dry thoroughly, sometimes overnight, to make sure that you can easily sand and come back and see what needs to be reworked or what needs to have additional putty or Bondo. While that putty works and dries, I will go ahead and sand the entire rest of the dresser so that we can prepare it for paint. I am applying a clear primer on this. I changed my mind on that clear primer, and instead I decided to go with an all-in-one paint by Dixie Belle in a beautiful shade of gray. I actually combined 2 paints to come up with this one, so I guess I can call it a custom color. I love this dark gray. It is just the right amount of darkness with still leaving it in a gray tone. Here I am sanding off some of the little places that I felt needed some additional wood putty and the drawers, and so I added them once I started painting. And I came back and I'm sanding them and cleaning them off, and I'm going to then apply my first coat. Everything is drying so slowly. Look at that. This has literally been in here with tons and tons of fans for over 30 minutes. And All of this is still wet, and the drawers are even worse. What is dry is what you see darker. It's taking forever. It's pouring outside, and I have been sick, and so I don't want to get sick again or get worse. I think I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna let this here drying overnight, go home and come back and do a second very good coat on these tomorrow. Bye. Going back a little bit, this is a drawer that kept giving me trouble. Is the top drawer on the left hand side, I guess it will be. And as you can see, it's still not perfect, so I'm coming back and I'm adding some additional putty in the corner, some additional Bondo in the corner, until I finally get it right and I'm able to then start the paint job on it. Comes to show what I was telling you guys before. You have to be patient and you have to just work it until it is as perfect as you can get it. It is time for hardware for Big Mama's Butta on all of the drawers, inside, outside, on the sides and the bottom, inside the tracks, all over the place, and staging. But I'm also going to show you how I did the bottom so that it stays with that natural look while still I protect it. For some reason, flat top coat does not alter the color of raw wood as much as a satin does. This right here, I just gave a coat of this flat top coat too. This will change when it dries. This is the natural. I'm gonna show you now what it does. As you can see, it doesn't alter it by much. And then I'll come back and show you guys again when it's completely dry how it goes very much back to that natural raw state again. That's the best one to use. Kind of hard to remember what this guy used to look like, but I do remember that every single corner of one of the drawers needed some sort of help. And if it wasn't a corner, it was in the middle or something, or maybe even on the inside, the track needed to be fixed. After sanding down bare that bottom of the dresser to give it more interest and adding on this beautiful gray color on it, I think it looks fabulous. I hope that my friend and her son really enjoy it, and that it is part of that fresh new start that they both need. I am happy to be a part of this little bit of their new life. That's what this is all about. Thanks again to Cory for putting together the challenge. Ugly Duckling is always a pleasure to join. Guys, make sure that you visit the playlist in the description. And for everyone, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.